Hello and welcome back to another video. This video I wanted to make because I wanted to bring some attention to this upcoming indie game that I'm really excited about. The game is called RetroMania Wrestling, and it is a direct official sequel to the 1991 arcade game that you see behind me called WWF WrestleFest. What's interesting about this game is that it originally started out as a spiritual successor to this game, but it eventually became an official sequel once they got the blessing of Tecmos of Japan. The developer of RetroMania Wrestling is called RetroSoft, and they're based out of Pennsylvania. So I recently had the chance to ask Mike Herman, who's the founder of RetroSoft Studios, a few questions about RetroMania Wrestling. And before I get into the questions, I want to say stay tuned to the end of the video. I got a really funny story to tell you at the end of it. But the game itself is going to feature large 2D sprites, much like the WrestleFest game, so it's going to look very similar aesthetically, and that's what really gets me excited because it's a really good throwback to this older generation of games, and just focuses on pure fun. One thing that I do want to say is that WrestleFest that you see behind me, it has a lot of superstars in it. It's got Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Legion of Doom, and some other ones. With RetroMania Wrestling, it doesn't have quite the licensing pool that Tecmos of Japan had back in the day, so there's not going to be a huge number of big wrestlers in there, like well-known wrestlers. There's the Legion of Doom, they're back, which is great, but they're not going to be any superstars this time around, at least not right off the bat. Most of the wrestlers, most of the roster is filled with lesser-known wrestlers from like the independent federations and things like that, who are well-known within their circles, but they're not widely known outside of them, which is the only real negative thing that I can see so far about RetroMania Wrestling. Although it does look really good from a gameplay perspective, there's not a ton of wrestlers that a lot of people are going to know right off the bat. But I think people are going to be willing to look past it if they see how fun the game is and they give it a shot. So I recently asked Mike Herman 10 questions about this game, about RetroMania Wrestling, and here are the questions and here are the answers. Question number 1. From the gameplay I've witnessed, the game appears to support 8 players simultaneously. Is this true? His answer? We are going to test 8 players at once. Our only concern is making sure it's fun with 8 players at once and not too much chaos on screen. We will test it. 6 for sure. Question number 2. Will the game support online play? If so, is cross-platform online play being considered? No online play at launch, but we have already started testing it, so it will happen eventually. Cross-platform is possible depending on cost. Question number 3. For the PC release, which digital distribution platform are you planning on? Steam, Epic Game Store, or something else? We have not settled on a platform yet, but Steam is probably where we'll end up. We would be willing to do as many as we can though. We will make that decision soon. Question number 4. Is Q1 2020 still the target release date for this game, or does a delay seem likely? It is, but unfortunately it's probably going to slip into Q2. We do not want to rush it out just to hit a date. Quality comes first. Question number 5. The 1991 arcade game WrestleFest only had 2 buttons, punch and kick. Pressing both simultaneously initiated a run. Will RetroMania Wrestling have a similar control scheme, or will it take advantage of more modern control schemes? A 6-button control scheme. Weak, medium, strong attacks, run, tag, and taunt. Auto grapple. Question number 6. Will there be a referee in the ring with the wrestlers in the final game? Yes. Question number 7. Are you considering adding a 4x3 display mode for the game for people who want to replicate the same display aspect ratio as the original 1991 arcade game? We will see. It is not very high on the priority list, and to be honest, local co-op is much more fun with a wide screen, but I'm not ruling it out. If there is enough demand for it, we'll look into it. Question number 8. If you could add any wrestler into the game that you haven't already, who would it be? The list is too long. So many. It comes down to availability and cost. Name any popular wrestler from the 80s or early 90s and I want them in, along with a lot of the hardcore originals. Question number 9. Do you plan on, or have considered, adding any kind of sprite editor to allow players to customize the appearance of the venues or wrestlers themselves? It is on our list, but to do it takes a lot of resources. As long as the game is successful, we will definitely look into it post-launch. Question number 10. Do you have any concrete post-launch plans? We are planning DLC already, but nothing for sure, as we do need the game to be a little successful. If that happens, the sky's the limit. So there you go, 10 questions and 10 answers from Mike the Man himself. I'm really looking forward to RetroMania Wrestling. It is going to be coming out for the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC, so you can pretty much get this on every single platform. So on to my story. It was about 2000 or 2001. I was working as a cashier at a computer store. It's a local computer store, but we sold other consumer goods too, like DVDs, televisions. It wasn't just computers, but we sold game consoles. Pretty much like Circuit City, except not. was just a smaller business. But in any case, it was in Austin, Texas as well. And I'm like working, doing my regular shift, and suddenly people, like other employees, were coming up like, oh, did you see who it is? Did you see who came in? Like, oh my God, it's really him. I'm like, who are you talking about? What are they talking about? It was the Undertaker, the actual Undertaker. People were like, oh my God, he's actually here, it's real. And I was like, no, he wouldn't come here, like of all places, why would he come here? And it's like, I was like, I don't know, because I was looking around and I'm like, looking at all the aisles, because they're pretty short aisles. I didn't see anybody that even remotely looked like the Undertaker, and there wasn't a lot of people in the store to begin with. So I'm like minding my business and like checking customers out, and eventually I look up and there's this tower of a man approaching the counter, and he's like, throws down a couple DVDs that he's purchasing, and I'm like, I was like frozen in fear, because I'm like, oh my God, holy crap, it's really him. Like when you see him in real life, he's huge. If you see the Undertaker on television, it's like, okay, yeah, that's the wrestler, he's doing his thing, no big deal. When you see him in real life, he's terrifying. Like, holy crap, this guy, I'm a pretty tall guy, I'm 6'1", and I came up to his chest. This guy is huge. A lot of professional wrestlers have to stay in character. It's like under contract. They have to stay in character even when they're out in public, which is why he was still terrifying as a regular person. Like, he didn't say a word to me. He just had this glare, and I was just like, oh my God, he's gonna tombstone my ass. But yeah, he bought 2 movies that night. I don't remember one of them, but I know for sure the second movie he bought was Something About Mary. But he has a good taste in comedy, I guess. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. That's all I got for this video. If you are excited for this game, or if this is the first time you've heard about it, please let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely going to be picking it up, probably on the PC and maybe the Xbox One later on. It is definitely my type of game. I like a good wrestling game, and this one looks to be a good one, a nice throwback. So in any case, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.